Thank you, guys. I'm very happy to be here. It's my first talk on React Native. My first talk on React Advanced. My fourth on React Native London. If you wonder if the quantity is beating quality, and because, well, I didn't build anything on the architecture, and I didn't build any package like, Flash list. What else can you do? Just combine two things which are already made. So, how many of you heard about Restyle? And how many about UI Kitten? Okay, so not so many. Actually, on the UI Kitten in React Native London, we had this talk previously. So we're going to cover, how you can get both of towards. So the story this summer, I was working on a social project. It's about the unpaid care work, mainly. It's addressed to ladies, to women which are working much hard at home and they don't get paid. And obviously we're at the pub. So I was in a need of a design system, and I was in a need of something which is working fast, because I didn't want to, spend too much time in designing too many elements. I was the only guy working on that one. So I was using the UI Kitten, but I was in a very big demand on how to handle this in the layout, and obviously I hated the style sheet and I hate the tailwind. So what else can be done? So at the beginning, obviously, if you guys don't use design system, you should. It's much more than logos. It's much more than fonts or colors. It's really, really something which is bringing consistency to your app, and you don't have to worry every time from the designer to do something pixel perfect. You just use the attributes, and as long as both the designer and you are using the same design system, it will work. Obviously, you can use a lot of attributes like primary info, warning, danger for different colors. You can use for t-shirt like dimensions for the layout, right? Now on the UI Kitten, it's really great. You have 30 plus UI components. A lot of you can handle two different themes, Ava or material design. You have obviously dark and light mode, and you can do a lot of things. However, there is a problem here. Everything related to this, let's say, attributes are in a JSON file, so inherently it's loaded at the beginning, so it's not dynamic. Restyle, on the other hand, is providing a time-enforced system for UI, and it's exactly what's missing if you want on the UI Kitten. Improve productivity and exclude completely the use of the style sheet. So why not combining them together? So ideally, how this is working, we're just wrapping all the UI components into the existing Restyle components. So the text is wrapped into the Restyle text, and the other, let's say, box-related or view-related components are wrapped in the Restyle box. And we are using both the mappings for let's say the attributes which make sense, but we're using Restyle for the dynamic layouts. So when you get these things together, obviously this is how it looks like, right? So mappings is a little bit not happy. Now I'm going to try to show you a demo. So hopefully we should have time. And bear with me. I will. Good. So on the screen you see a classic Expo app, which you can build, right? With Expo init, and choose the TypeScript template and the navigation. So you're going to just have something like that. So it's pretty simple, and as you see, for instance, in this in this part, just a second. Okay. Okay, so this is how it looks like. It's already coming with some color scheme and some other stuff. So the question is how we are going to turn this, let's say, project in something which is using both the UI Kitten and the Restyle. So for that, I will just, I will just unstash some changes, and hopefully if we can reload it. Come on. Okay. Probably we should restart it. Oh. Yeah, that's the classical situation of the demos, right? Yeah, so that was a problem. Good to know, never try without the Wi-Fi. So as you see, because I just unstashed a couple of things, a little bit of colors appear here. So we have a different color on this icon and on the toolbar on the bottom. So let's see the code. So we completely get rid of the colors which were loaded before, but we wrapped everything in this theme provider, which is taking two attributes, the icon pack and the Restyle. So we have this pretty simple, let's say, change. So if you see, actually we reduce a couple of things from the original code. Another change, it was in the navigation. So again, we moved the dark theme, let's say the control of the dark mode inside the navigation, because we have this wrapped here in the theme, so we couldn't do it outside of the wrapper, right, of the provider. So we need to do it inside. So we move it here, but we took advantage and bring also the status inside. So we can right now control also the status style as dark or light. So that's pretty simple. The rest remain the same, except that we completely remove the type icon and use our own icon, both in the tabs here, and also in this, let's say, a specific case, the icon on the top right, the small one. So why we did this? Because actually what we can do is, if we want to change the icon here, right, and do something else, we have the TypeScript is helping us, and we can change it just like that, right? So now we'll have probably a different icon. Yeah. So the icon change. So it's as simple as that to control everything. And if we don't like the colors, we can probably use something like danger here. And yeah, it turned red. So it's as simple as that. And again, this one is with autocomplete. So we have this. So again, the changes here were pretty minimal, in a sense that we reduced the let's say the code. Now let's talk a little bit about these two things, right? We have this icon pack and we have the Restyle. So let's get to the Restyle. So in the Restyle, let me open it without. In the Restyle, which is in the theme here, we have pretty not too much information. So first we get the colors, and these are the default colors which we brought it from EVA Design, which is used by UI Kitten. But only we brought it here for the TypeScript part, for auto completion. right? Because later on we are going to override it. And then we have this spacing. And we can declare this spacing the way we want. And every time we are going to use it as a, the t-shirt like, spacing for margins, for paddings, for whatever we want, these will be the values which will be applied, which means that we will have very consistent layout, right? So it's very simple, the Restyle part. The icon pack, we didn't use the EVA icons because the expo is coming already with the vector icons, right? And font awesome is also great. So in this situation, we, instead of having the icons from EVA, or if we want, we can have the icons, our own icons as SVG. What we did is to just have this icon provider, which is essentially just a proxy, which is answering to the get function, and it's providing the font awesome with all the properties here. So it's pretty simple. And one more thing, we are going to have this type, the icon name, which will be exported, and we have all the, let's say, the names of the icons. So it will be very easy for us to later on, use it for auto completion, right? So as you saw, right? So going back, these are, let's say, the bare minimum in order to make this thing work. Actually, you can skip the icon pack if you don't use icon, but well, everybody's using icons. But you can do much more. But before that, let's do something. Let's try to change some stuff. So for instance, let's go on this tab one, and here let's add a toggle. I think it's toggle switch, maybe. Let's see if we can import it. I kind of forget it. Let me check on the, here it was this one in the UI Kitten. Yeah, it's simple toggle. So it's toggle. And come on, sorry. And we're going to import it from Restyle UI Kitten components, right? And then we need checked value, and we need the on change. Normally I use my armchair when I'm coding. So okay, so let's get these things out. So it's we're going to use theme context from UI Kitten to retrieve the is dark mode, and we need to use the toggle theme, right? So here we're going to use is dark mode, and here we're going to use toggle. Good. So let's see if we have this one. We have an error. Yeah, okay. So now we have the toggle, and if we are switching it, as you see, the part of, the navigation changed the color, but this one didn't. So why is that? Okay, let's get rid of this view here, and let's import this. Instead of importing the view and the text from whatever it was coming, let's import it from Restyle. Restyle UI Kitten components. So it's actually the same view and text, right? But now we just don't have to worry about the styles, right? So now, as you see, just because I refresh, the external view was, following the color, dark right. But let's make it nicer. Let's say that we can put the justify content here and its center, and we can put the align items here, which is also center. And yeah, now it's slightly better. Let's maybe add some padding top. So maybe just PT, and then, I don't know, XL maybe, whatever that means. So we have some padding tops. And let's do the same thing with the text, right? So we don't want to use this style. So for instance, let's say category here, it's age 1. So now it's slightly different, right? And here we don't want to use this one. I don't even, the separator, well, I don't know why this separator is here, but what does it have? So, okay, let's try to replicate it. So it has a margin vertical, which is M, Y, and probably something like, I don't know, XL. And it's having a height of 1. Okay, and then it's having a width of 80%. Let's see if it's working. 80%, yeah, it's fine. And that's about it. And the rest we can delete it. And we kind of have more or less same separator somewhere, right? We can add a color if we want. So background color, and now we have, as you remember, we can, choose for whatever colors we might have here, right? So let's take some, maybe not danger, info for 500. Good. So okay, so we have this line here, right? So we don't really need to have the style sheet, right? We just use this one, right? And it's fine, at least without the center component, which was rendered differently. So here, of course, we can add a little bit of styling here. So let's say margin top equals, I don't know, the biggest one. So just to have it, down. Now, okay, how are we going to change the colors, right? So we find, we see that here we have this, let's say the icon pack and the Restyle, but we also want to have, let's say, our own colors, right? So for that, we are going to have a color palette. Now, in order to build this, it's pretty simple. You just go on this link, which is colors.eva.design, and you can have your desired, color palette. So, for instance, what do you think, guys? Maybe something purple? Let's do something like that. Let's create. And, okay, let's keep the rest. So we'll have a purple theme, right? So we're going to export this in JSON. This will be in the downloads, custom, open. Okay, so that's the new color palette with purple, and we're going to use that one. And if you go back, probably you noticed that now there is a purple, let's say, color. Let me make sure that we reload it. Actually, just a second. It's app theme. And let's import it from here. Okay, so now we have it purple. So going inside the app theme here is actually rebuilding the default palette for light and dark with our own colors, which we imported from the colors which we rebuild here, right? So it's pretty simple. The app theme is having two things, the dark and the light, right? So now we have the purple consistently for dark and light, right? So that's perfectly fine. But let's do something even more visible. Let's bring a button here, right? Everybody's using buttons, right? And let's put some. Okay, I'll be. If you start falling asleep, just whistle or raise your hand. I'll move faster. So this is the last thing which I'm going to show you. So we're going to add the button here and test. So here we have a button. That's the default button. We can say appearance, and probably we'll have it. I don't know. Field is fine. And well, let's put some margin, vertical margin equals again a lot, so it's here, right? And we can even do something like margin equals same thing and with 100%, right? Okay. I think we should wrap it into, let's put it 90% or 80%. Should wrap it into a view. Now, this might be okay, but you probably want to have, I don't know, maybe a rounding, corners, but you want to have like, applied to all of them. So here it comes the mappings which I was talking about. So we have a mapping which can be as simple as just a font color, but you can, customize a lot, but statically, as I said, the UI Kitten components. So for instance, the input, the text, and so on and so forth. So it's just an example. You just copy this from the mappings from UI Kitten and then customize it. So let's add this to the provider as well. So mappings equals app mappings, which we are going to import it here. I think okay. Okay, so I think we should reload everything. So now, as you see, the button, we didn't do anything. So we continue, writing normal code. But now the button has, rounded corners, and we can, if we, for instance, have another button, which is more or less the same, but we say here maybe the size is smaller, which is, I don't know, small. You see that we still have the rounding corners, right? And we can do whatever we want. So yeah, that's all. As you see, you don't really have to use the style sheets, so you can completely remove everything. What you already wrote is fine, so you can still preserve the view and the text as they are. You just import it from React Restyle UI Kitten, and you are going to benefit from all the layout capabilities of the Restyle and all the attributes of the UI Kitten. So that's about it. Thank you for your patience.